Do we have a kick-ass training for you today? Because in this video, we're going to be talking about pixel conditioning, most likely where you guys are fucking up a lot of things, where you're setting money on fire. So we're going to talk about the pixel, how to actually set it up properly, the strategies behind it, and the myths that go around within the pixel. So make sure to take notes because this video alone should help you start getting more profitable ads. Now, if you're brand new to this channel, what's good, what up, do all the YouTube stuff, right? Subscribe, like, all that kind of cool stuff. But on this channel, we are all about playing bigger, right? The game of business, it is so many different levels, and especially as you continue to grow, whether you're already doing 7 figures right now, whether you're already doing 8 figures, you already know that the game of business is a different level every time you continue to grow. So the whole point of this channel is to play bigger, and we do that by building 7-figure machines to turn them into 8-figure systems so you can live a life of freedom, and you can really leverage and maximize what life is on, right? God put us on this planet for a reason. Boom, right? Now, let's talk about pixel conditioning. So there is a lot of myths that go behind pixel conditioning. So pixel conditioning is training the pixel. Where a lot of people go wrong with this entire thing is they think pixel conditioning is just like, I'm just going to send all data to the pixel, which that is the dumbest thing you can do right away, right? So pixel conditioning is training, right? We want to really guard and gatekeep, right? Let's put a little lock right here. You know, I'm a phenomenal artist if you can't tell. That's a lock. You want to lock your pixel, all right? So then that way, while you are running ads, right? So we'll just say you have your ad. They go on a click, right? They're going to go on a landing page from right here. Then they're going to opt in, or maybe they're going to go apply, register for webinar. There's a bunch of different stuff. In this example, I'm just going to use a simple lead magnet because it's super simple. I'm not going to get into the complicated versions of our lead magnets. You can learn about that in a different video and how we actually turn those into super profitable campaigns, which is hilarious. But so, right, we got our little opt-in right here. And a lot of times, here's a little fun fact for you. I personally like to ask a quick qualifier. Is it true that the more friction that you add into the whole funnel, the less results you're going to get? 100%. But the more quality traffic you're going to get, as well as you're also going to be able to filter people, right? So what a lot of people do right now on their simple lead magnets is they opt in, they go to a thank you page, right? And then right here, they have a lead event code, right? So they have that firing off, events code. That fires off, and then that goes back to AKA Meta and the algorithm to say, hey, we got a lead. Here is that person that we got the lead of. And then what ad does and what Meta does and what the algorithm does is then it starts to really, it looks at that person. It has over 60,000 data points on us. Just think about that for a sec. Meta has 60,000 plus data points on us. Can you even think of 200 unique things about yourself? I mean, hell, you guys see me wear a black shirt and a white shirt all the time. They have 60,000 data points, right? A lot of things that make us similar. So when you get a result, aka a lead, and you have it talk to the code, aka the pixel, then that's going to shoot over and talk to Meta and say, hey, this person just became a lead. Let's look at this person, and then let's optimize our ads for this person so that way we can keep getting them more results, right? The way that the pixel works is, and this is a good thing for you to know, is the pixel learns from signals that you send it. All right? So this is why you want to gatekeep all the signals. Because let's be real here. Not all leads are created equal. Y'all know that. Not all data is created equal, right? There are the top tiered leads, and then there's those kind of okay leads. I like to call them Leo leads, lower engagement opportunity. And then you have the trash, bunk ass leads where it's why are you even in my funnel? Why are you in my campaign? I clearly said real estate investors, and you are broke as fuck and don't even have $10 to your name. Makes total sense why you're in this fucking funnel, right? So, not all leads are created equal, but what a lot of you guys are doing is you're sending all leads back to your ads. And then you wonder why they're not doing well. And then you blame Meta. And then you're like, oh, this sucks, and blah, 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 this is not how it works, and yada, 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 da, 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 Meta ads suck, and yada, 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 right? Meta doesn't optimize for your goals. Quote, unquote, does it? Yes, whatever goal, campaign, objective you does, it's going to optimize for that, but not your personal goals. It's going to optimize the data that you give it. And that's what you got to understand, right? Is whatever I give it, it's then going to continue to keep optimizing on that. So this is where a lot of advertisers and a lot of marketers, one, don't even know this, which is hilarious, and two, they kind of skip this process. And they do that for, honestly, an ego reason. I.e., like the ads platform looks better when you don't do this. Looks better. And the reason why is because, just for some simple math and some simple numbers, let's say we have an ad campaign, right? So we have an ad, one, and this one has all the pixel, right? Every lead that comes through, the pixel's talking to it, it's sending the code over. I'll talk a little bit more about how do we decipher those. But you have ad one, and every single person's going in there, right? Let's say that you spent $10,000 on a webinar, right? Let's say you got $5 cost per lead, right? Cost per registration. So you got $5, and then you sent every single one, right? So in your ads manager, if you have CAPI set up, if you have all the other good stuff to try to get as much accurate data inside that platform as possible, right? You can say 2,000. Now, there are a lot of times, these ads platforms and these companies are huge. Just know not everything's always going to be accurate inside those ads managers. That's why you need to have multiple systems in place and multiple things to ensure that you get the most accurate data and really do like a trifecta. You want one, the ads platform, you want your CRM, and then you want something else that's actually pulling it in so that you can also see that data, right? Whether that's a third-party tracking tool like Triple Whale, High Rose, there's other ones on it depending on your business. But that's where I digress. That's a whole other video. If you want to know more about that, let me know in the video down below, because tracking, one, is a pain in the ass, and two, but it's super crucial. But like, let's say this is what you see, right? But you're sending all pixel. Then let's say we have ad campaign number 2, right? We still spend 10,000, but let's say we have a qualifier, right? In this, I'm going to do just a simple, again, registration, right? So we got a registration page, and you got a confirmation 1, and then confirmation 2. And if you want, you can even have a DQ page saying, hey, fuck off, this isn't for you. And basically, right, so we got the pixel code around. So the pixel is like view, right? View content, view code, like the normal one is completely okay. Confirmation number 1 has the registration event. So that means when people hit this page, that fires off this event that then talks to Meta, right? That's how that whole system works. Now, when someone goes onto this page, it has no code. It has nothing on there, i.e., we ain't sending any signal, right? And the reason why is because, and this is if you want, you can do a qualifier right here, or you can even put a little survey in the middle, and then you can kind of do a little fun thing, get a little bit more data, get a little bit more information. You also want to incentivize them, because everyone has, what's in it for me? Why the fuck would I fill out this 30-second questionnaire? Well, you want to incentivize them. So you're going to give them value right before the actual training, and then it's like, hey, I'm going to give you X, Y, and Z, so that way we can help you get results right now before the class. And then the biggest thing is, make sure it's valuable. Give them good results. But that's also going to be me going into a tangent of webinars. So that's a whole other video too. But in this realm of pixel conditioning, you have a qualifier somewhere, right? And then let's just say for easy marks, you're trying to connect to the people that are doing at least $20,000 in revenue in their business, right? So that is what we are trying to do. So our thing is $20,000. So let's just, to make it easy, let's say you have a qualifier question right here. It's name, email address, phone number, and then, hey, how much revenue is it? How much are you doing monthly in your revenue? Or, wow, how much revenue a month are you doing in your business, right? You have the different options, make it easy for them to click. But like, let's say everyone that does 20,000 plus, they go here. Anyone that does under, they go here. Now, the thing with that is you are still getting the leads, right? They are still registered. You are still have them in your database. Ideally, I would tag them differently. I would segmentate them differently because they are different people. They're not ideally your market that you're really wanting, depending on what your offer is, right? But this one is who you're wanting to talk to. And then that has this registration event. Once you have that, that's talking to ads, and ads is going to continue to keep focusing and optimizing for what goes in that results column, right? If you guys have all been in the ads manager, you know what that results column looks like, whatever you have a campaign for. Whatever goes in there, that's what the platform is optimizing for. So that's where you want to gatekeep this data, right? So let's say, for again, example is $10,000. Let's say we're still getting $5 cost per registration for all of them. However, let's say in reality though, it's really $8.50 for our qualified leads, right? Because now in the ads manager, we're looking at qualified leads, and that actually has a whole different fucking realm, right? So then instead of the 2,000, right, we got 1,176 in here. It looks a little bit different. So sometimes people do this because of like ego marketing on that side. So this is where you need to condition your pixel, which i.e. in a nutshell, I can go into a long video all about pixel conditioning because there's so much stuff that's fun with it, and there's so many different ways that you can go about it. But the biggest thing is you restrict the data that you send. All right, data that you send. I need to learn how to type, do this a little faster. That you send. So again, not all data is created equal. So you want to be very careful of what actual information that you're sending. And the other thing too is the way you set up your funnels, the way you set up your pixels doesn't mean you shouldn't track them at all, right? One thing that I always like to do is the standard events, those are what we always use as our quality. So standard event for us equals quality. And that equals like our actual avatar, the ones that we really want. And by standard events, just in case if you guys don't know this, right, that's your lead event code. That's your registration, right, the complete registration. That's your call scheduled. That's your purchase. You got add to cart. You got view content. You got so many different ones, right? There's tons of different ones that are in for standard events. These events equal qualified, quality traffic. Our ideal avatar, our ICP that we are really wanting to get, that is what we have. Then the next one that we have, right, is what we call a Leo lead here. Leo leads, again, stand for lower engagement opportunity, right? It has nothing to do with that horoscope crap, right? All right, nothing like that. I know there's going to be people in here like, oh my God, I'm a Leo. That's so phenomenal. They're always broad. But I digress. Leo is lower engagement opportunity, which means the way that we look at it, and this is where we created equals as a custom conversion, because there's still stuff we want to do with it. We still want to have it on different opportunities and for different tracking things on the back end. There's a lot of things that we can kind of play around with it as a custom conversion. This is not an entirely qualified lead, i.e. it's not our bread and butter, but we still sell them, right? So like it's not someone that's like, hey, this is like the best one that I want, but it's like, hey, we still sell these people. They're still inside our market. They're just the lower end ones. And then you got DQs, right? People that should not be in your funnels, anything like that. 0 pixel, right? You send these people to pages that have no pixel, that does not talk to the ads. So that way you stop it right there. Meta doesn't even know they exist, right? Has no clue, right? We'll just do that. They don't even know. That's the biggest thing with pixel conditioning on that side. So the biggest thing is, and a lot of people mess this up, if you don't have this on lock, right, and you start, let's say even these people, you start sending this over to Meta, one, you can fuck up your data because then Meta's going to start optimizing for the people. And the thing is, it does it on the most recent. So that's why it's so important to have this, because if you start sending them bad data, again, it's going to optimize for the most recent, because all it wants is to continue to keep getting you results. It wants you to keep seeing the result column because they think that's good for you. They don't know that it's entirely trash because you're not doing your responsibility of limiting that, right? And then if you start doing this, it can take up to 2 to 3 weeks to fix, i.e., only clean data that is being sent. So, like, only clean data being sent 2 to 3 weeks is going to recalibrate. What is it? Pixel, the AI, the algorithm, all that kind of stuff. It's going to take like 2 to 3 weeks. 3 weeks is a super high, right? It's really, a lot of times you'll see it on average 1 to 2. I always like to just kind of promise donkeys and deliver unicorns. More my style, right? But like that is the piece that can come in on that side. So that is why you need to make sure to hone in on your pixel conditioning to ensure that you're only sending clean data. You gatekeep it. You don't have events on every single page. You add different qualifiers. And there's so many different ways to do this, right? Like you have, I mean, the biggest thing is you have a qualifier somewhere, right? It can be on your form as like one question, right? It can be a whole application that has multiple questions in there, but again, one. And like these just sprout them into different areas depending on how they answer, right? There's even times that we have in some of our stuff, if you answer something that is completely a DQ, there's even in funnels that we have, we send you to a page that just says bye-bye. Like, we don't want you anywhere next to us. Here's some value, here's some stuff, but like, please don't come back. And that's legitimately why we want to make sure that we are always just keeping our pixel safe, right? This is so important. Keep your pixel safe, condition it, guardrail and gatekeep the data that you send it, and you're good to go, right? You're going to start seeing such better ads because, again, your ads are optimizing based off what's in that results column, and you're only getting high-quality people in that results column, so the algorithm can only find higher quality people. Now, again, there's going to be other questions and things like in here I did not go dive into because there's going to be stuff of like, well, hey, how many times do I need to actually send pixel events to the pixel, because there are a certain amount of events that you need to have to get that learning phase, as well as to just really optimize those campaigns. There's different things with budget. There's a lot of different other things that can go inside this video. But again, there is stuff that we got to gatekeep for the clients and gatekeep behind the scenes. However, this alone is better than a lot of people out there. So make sure to go execute, have a kick-ass day. Let me know in the comments if this made sense. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see. Go have a kick-ass motherfucking day, and then I will talk to you later.